I think you can, right? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you and we can see your screen. Perfect.
Okay, amazing. All right, hello everyone. I hope you're doing well, and thanks for giving your time to this to a lovely Sunday morning. So I'm gonna be talking about teaching. Um, I am a teacher. My name is Florian Sheho, and I'm a teacher at North London Grammar School. I teach psychology, PSHE, which stands for Personal, Social, Health, and Economic Education. And this year I'm also teaching RE, which is Religious Education. Now, before I just go on and tell you about teaching and tell you about the way that you can become a teacher and what it means to be a teacher in the UK, I just want to tell you why become a teacher, or what are some reasons why teaching is important. Now, it's funny because when I was in I'm from Albania, and I was raised and studied there. And then when I was in high school, I was studying in the Turkish high schools there. I remember my teachers trying to convince me to become a teacher as well. And I remember telling them that teaching is not really for me. I think there's a lot of people who do it, very noble people, but I don't know if it really suits me. And I can't believe I'm here today talking about teaching and how what it is and everything. So quite a full circle there. But I believe it all boils down to one thing. Teaching is a way of serving people, and teaching is the most effective way to make a change or an impact in one's life. Throughout my life, I personally have always wanted to sort of do something with filmmaking, cinema, and the aim was always to sort of pursue people or convince people on or share certain ideas and impact people positively. But that's a very slow way of doing it. And somehow I found my way doing teaching, and I've realized that definitely teaching is the most effective way of having an impact on people's lives. So I think I could just start with that. So that's what I believe is the most important thing of why to become a teacher. But how do you become a teacher? Now, in one way or the other, anyone can become a teacher in the UK. It's a bit different from, let's say, Turkey or Albania or any other country that I've been to, because you can study any subject that you want. So anything that you're passionate about, you can go on and study it in A levels or in university. So it could be, I don't know, it could be IT, computer science, it could be geography, it could be psychology. And then if you want to sort of shape that and transform that into teaching, you can easily do a course which is called PGCE. You can do that through Teach First or School Direct. These are websites and institutions that provide guidance on how to become a teacher. They'll locate you in a school, and you also take lessons. My personal journey is a bit different. I started working with North London Grammar School as a mentor, and I started teaching there. And then I started doing my QTS, which is the Qualified Teaching Standard. It's like a certification that you get at the end of 1 year of teaching, and also kind of doing some paperwork and learning as well. So pretty much is everyone is welcome to teaching. So whatever you're studying, whatever you're doing, you can shape that into a teaching role. After QTS, you do 2 years of teaching in a particular school, and that is counted as your qualification again. I am doing my ECT now. It's called Early Career in Teaching. So 2 years, you're sort of shown different ways of teaching in different schools. When I was doing my QTS, which is the first training period, I had to also go to another school. So you don't only teach in one school, you have to go to different places, which gives you more experience, and you see how different it is. Where I'm teaching now is a private independent school. Where I did my placement is a state school, which is super big. So I saw different ways of what it means to be a teacher. So, what's a day in the life of a teacher? Now, I just wanted to say that no 2 days are the same when it comes to teaching. Teaching is one of those professions that one thing is for sure, and that thing is that you will never get bored. There's always something happening. There's always something demanding from you. And being a teacher, you don't know for sure that you'll never be bored. There, you always have students who will need you. You always have colleagues who will need you. Usually, a day in the life of a teacher is like this. You go there early in the morning, usually around 8 o'clock, and then you have a bit of form time if you are a form teacher. So you have a class that you are slightly more close to, and then you start your teaching time usually. So 8:30, about 9 till about 3:30, 4, depends on the school. In our school, it's from 8:50 to 4 o'clock. There is lessons, and then afterwards you can do some extracurricular activities. You can do clubs. You can do something that you're passionate about. So you know how I mentioned that I like film and cinema. I'm doing film clubs in my school. It keeps me in touch with something that I really like. It's a hobby of mine. So it's a very good opportunity for me to sort of do something I like within the profession of teaching, which is my main job. Of course, included in teaching, there's always the academic aspect of it. So you're making lesson plans. Sometimes you're asked to plan the curriculum. So what are you teaching when? For me in psychology, I had to plan where I put each chapter and how I deliver it. So I'm planning lessons every day. Even though I have PowerPoints and presentations ready made, I still go through them every day to sort of make sure and adapt it to each student. During the lessons is a lot of fun because no two lessons are the same. Even though the PowerPoints are the same, you never get the same energy or the same context because students are different. And you realize that you are delivering every single lesson different. So every time I'm teaching something, I'm at the same time learning something new, which is fascinating and beautiful. And it really keeps you energized and keeps you alive. I think you don't feel you feel like you remain young no matter how many white hair you have. So it's beautiful. And then this is the academic aspect of it, and included in that is of course exams and marking. So the marking, it depends on the school how much you do it. That's the part that I hate the most, personally speaking, when it comes to teaching. But I've realized this year is also marking GCSE papers with the exam board, so actual GCSE papers, and I found out that I actually enjoyed doing that. So maybe in time you could kind of get used to it more. So this is the academic aspect of it, and there's also the pastoral aspect of it. So the pastoral aspect of it is the sort of the why we're doing this, sort of having those relationships with students, having that mentoring, doing some mentoring to them and trying to guide them in a particular way. At the end of the day, we teachers are teaching certain subjects, but at the same time, we are teaching certain values. We are teaching certain lifestyles, and we have such a huge power in the classroom. I'm surprised sometimes that how much authority and sort of how much influence I can have on students' life. I can say something wrong and they can accept it as true fact, but I can also say something very important and they can really take it in. And I think that's the most rewarding part of it. So a day in the life of a teacher really includes that pastoral aspect, students coming to you and complaining or asking about something or questioning certain things and you sort of guiding them into how to approach things. And these things could be a bit difficult and overwhelming on the first or second or even third year, but then you sort of realize and you learn more that you adapt things and you adapt your personality to whoever is in front of you. Benefits of teaching. Now, don't take any screenshots or anything. So these are some of my students, some of them who've graduated, some of them who I went to Thorpe Park with, some of them who I went to Oxford with. Now, benefits of teaching include so many things. I mean, it's just so starting from trips. I love traveling, going to places. You're traveling for free and going to places for free. You're going to musicals, you're going to Thorpe Park, you're going to all of these places that you didn't really normally go to, and you have a lot of fun. So trips and extracurricular activities are really something that change the sort of sometimes any monotony that there is there. Any other benefit that obviously includes seeing your students really grow and learning things. That's definitely, in my opinion, the most rewarding thing. At the end of the day, every single one of us had a teacher who had some sort of impact in our lives, and one way or the other changed our lives and changed our decisions and made us who we are somehow. I think as a teacher, you're doing that every day, and it bears a lot of responsibility, but at the same time, it really comes with the very rewarding aspect of it. So I think it's something that sometimes we don't sort of emphasize enough, but making such a big impact on people's lives is definitely rewarding, and it's a bit selfish even, but you can see the reward right there and then. Is one of those professions that you can see the outcome right in front of you, and that outcome has to do with a human being changing um, positively, hopefully. So that's definitely something that's a huge benefit. But at the same time, there's also challenges for sure, and time management is definitely a key challenge, I would say. You need a lot of patience on how to deal with people. You need to sort of understand that usually there is no particular evil, sort of ill intention there when students do something wrong, but you need to sort of empathize, but at the same time send some sort of a message. So it's lots of things that you need to balance. You're trying to teach, but at the same time you're trying to teach character. You're trying to teach a subject, but at the same time you don't want to bore them. So there's a lot of things that you're trying to, a lot of strings that you're trying to hold. But I think that comes with the fun of it. So, but of course, it is a challenge. Time management is definitely a challenge. You need to be very organized and planned, and that's definitely something that I'm struggling with. But I think if I've made it so far, I'm on my third or fourth year of teaching, so definitely anyone can make it. Because when there is marking or certain exam periods that are happening, definitely you need to be on top of things. But definitely, I would say a challenge is this: you also need to be a people's person. You need to understand that kind of, you need to be willing to really put yourself in someone else's shoes and really try to see the world from their perspective, and trying to guide them or help them or support them accordingly if there's any need. But schools are always there to support. There's very, in the UK, there's very good systems in place that really support your journey, I would say. So being with colleagues, other teachers, kind of sharing what you're struggling with really helps a lot. So I think that's something that is dealable, I'll say. Career progression, there's amazing room for growth. So just like you see your students grow, and kind of it's so beautiful to see that journey, there's that journey that you can go through yourself. So as I said, you can do the PGC and QTS first year training, and then 2 years you're still doing some sort of qualifications and training and career plan development. And then there's so much opportunity to become a head of department or a head of year or a deputy head teacher, or there is room for development quite a lot. But you can also use your teaching experience to go into policy making, or go into designing curriculums, or planning sort of the whole subject with exam boards. So as I said, whether you're passionate about your subject and want to sort of delve more into the subject, or want to do more something that has to do with school management, there's always room for progression. And you never feel sort of stale and like you're not making much. So it's always up to you, I'll say.
Sorry to interrupt for now, but I just checked. Head teachers like highest pay on this website, what was it, the NASUWT, the union. A head teacher earns up to £138,000.
Yeah, I just realized I hadn't put the numbers. Definitely. So when it comes to the salaries, there is sometimes the idea that teachers are underpaid. Oh, I mean, for sure, teachers are underpaid, but we are not paid little. Like the salaries are definitely quite attractive, I would say, and appealing. And in the UK, you can easily sort of live a pretty normal life, or more than normal when it comes to being a teacher, because of this career progression that you have. One thing that I didn't say is that with teaching, you get a lot of holidays, like so much. I have a lot of people just being so jealous of my work because of all the holidays I get. So in our school, for example, we get 2 weeks of holidays in October, 3 weeks during Christmas, 1 week in February, 2 weeks in Easter, 1 week in May, and also about 8 weeks in summer. So that's a crazy amount of holidays. And you're allowed to sort of use that time for yourself. You can also allow sort of do a bit of more of holidays, sort of more career progression things. So you can teach online, you can teach on one-to-one basis. So there's room for you to sort of do teaching on your holiday as well, and then you can make more money as well. So I think when it comes to the money aspect of it or financial aspect of it, is really very manageable, and there is room sort of to do more of it. I don't know if I have time or can that's.
I mean, we could wrap up and there's 2 minutes. Bruhna obviously who will be our next speaker as well. So
Yeah, so that's pretty much it what I wanted to say. I don't know if there's questions or
the way we're doing questions of is they will
at the
ask
end.
me and then I'll get the questions across to you, inshallah. But
Okay.
a great presentation. Thank you very much for Nabi. Allah razı olsun.
Yeah, so yeah, thank you very much for having me, and I really appreciate this program. I think it's beautiful to see so many experts from different fields and talk about it. But everyone remember that all of these experts came from teaching or from a teacher who led them. So if you only become a teacher, you can have an impact.